Welcome to Friday afternoon at Digital Marketing Lab headquarters here in Encinitas, California. I hope you're doing well. We may be the only people still working in the San Diego area at this particular moment. It's sunny outside, it's gorgeous, and our office is an absolute dead zone. Everybody is gone, out there having fun, probably at a happy hour already. So we're going to get you off to your weekend and to your happy hour here pretty quickly. Welcome, Matt Gordon. Hello. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Today we are going to talk about our what we call strategically lazy approach to doing content marketing. And everybody knows, every marketer knows that content marketing is absolutely the thing that everybody should be doing. Content is king now, and it's actually a pretty fascinating time to be a marketer and an entrepreneur, just to look around at all of the interesting things that are happening with content out there in the marketplace. You know, whether it's Dollar Shave Club launching with their cool YouTube video and creating this sensation, or it's Apple talking about buying Disney potentially. There's rumors about Apple buying Disney potentially because they realize how important content is, and they need content to help them achieve their next level of growth. So it's a fascinating time where content has become front and center to everything that's happening in the marketing world. And in our world of doing local marketing and doing e-commerce marketing and things like that, you're seeing that more and more successful marketers, what they're doing is that they are leading their sales pitch with with content first. So it doesn't matter if they are selling a widget on an e-commerce store, or they are promoting an event in a local market or a restaurant or whatever it is. Leading with content is the trend. And it's something that we have been working with extensively now for, I guess, about 7 months. We have been really focused on this model. Welcome, Steve. Hello. Is it Slavi? Is that how you say it? I hope I'm saying that right. Welcome. For about the last 7 months or so, we've been doing content marketing of some sort or another for years, but in the last 7 months or so, it has become really focused for us on, leading with content in essentially every single situation that we can. And our Facebook advertising in particular has really become, shifted to being focused on a content first strategy. So we are promoting articles and videos before we are promoting any offers, or we are promoting an offer in those articles and videos. So this has really become the way that we do our Facebook advertising now. We don't have a whole lot of just kind of traditional ads out there compared to content that is actually serving as a vehicle for getting people to our products, getting to services, promoting stuff for clients for our local publishing business, promoting information products, things like that. It is primarily coming from somebody going to a video or going to an article, and then working their way through that content and getting to our offer. Now, why is it that this works so well? It works so well because people hate ads, right? People hate ads, but they love content. People want to be engaged by content. They want to be educated. They want to be entertained. So if you can put out content that is educational, entertaining, informative, people kind of give you a hall pass. Even though they know that it's promoted content, as long as that content is something that they enjoy or learn from, they have a good quality experience with it, then they are okay that it comes with a sales pitch. In fact, not only are they okay with that, but they enjoy it, right? If you do a good job of leading people to the products and services that they want through a good piece of content, people are actually thrilled with that. So that's our goal, is to get good content out there that gets tons of engagement. That makes Facebook happy, right? That makes our readers happy. That makes our audience happy. And we get rewarded from Facebook by getting much cheaper ad costs, much cheaper CPMs. It's unbelievable to see the differences between the CPMs on engagement campaigns with content versus more conversion-oriented campaigns where you're doing kind of the traditional marketing. Just yesterday we were looking at some campaigns that we have running where we have content going to an audience and then we have offers going to that same audience. And our offer campaigns were at $35, $36 CPMs, and our engagement campaigns were at like $6 or $7 CPMs. That's a massive, massive difference. And the crazy thing is that we're actually still getting more of the conversions that we're looking for from the content-based campaign. So we've got to be focused on content and content marketing. Now, the only reason why anybody in the world would then not be doing content marketing as much as they should be is that they would, essentially not get the content production done, right? Producing content is difficult. It's time consuming. So, that is the real challenge, and I absolutely get that challenge. I mean, we've been producing a lot of content here for years, and it is a lot of work, and a lot of people are, either not real comfortable with it or, don't have the skill set for it or aren't sure of what their voice should be to produce that content. And so it just doesn't get done. But it's too important to not get done. So we've got to figure out a strategy, and that's what this session is all about. We call it strategically lazy content marketing. And the reason I use the phrase strategically lazy is, I tend to be a person that thinks that I can outwork every problem. I'm just going to hustle more, put in more hours, stuff like that. But, I've got 3 kids at home now. I've got a family that I want to hang out with. I can't, I don't want to just work 20 hours a day, right? So being strategically lazy is our approach to what can we do to minimize the amount of hustle and effort that has to go into something? What is the way that we can minimize the number of hours that we can put into something but still achieve our strategic objective? Okay, and so that's what this is all about, is being strategically lazy with our content marketing. And the way that we're doing that is we're doing that through using a tool called Sniffly. Yeah, Steve says lazy. I'm in. I like it, Steve. And is it? I'm sorry again if I'm going to butcher this name. I apologize. It's Slavi. I hope I'm saying that right. And when you say, what do you mean content campaigns versus engagement campaigns? Don't all campaigns need content to begin with to exist? So what I was saying, maybe I might have misspoke, but what I was trying to say was engagement campaigns versus conversion campaigns. And I'm talking about specifically in the Facebook advertising platform, that the Facebook advertising platform, you can use the objective of conversion, or you can use the objective of engagement, or lots of other things. But typically, we're using, for the most part, we're using engagement, or we're using traffic, or we're using conversion, okay? Yeah, absolutely. So, perfect. So, yeah, what I'm saying is that if I run an engagement objective campaign with content focus on Facebook, my CPMs are just dramatically cheaper. Dramatically cheaper. And yet, in most cases, still as effective, if not more effective. So, who here right now is actively producing content and using that content in their Facebook ad campaigns? If you would give me some thumbs up if you're doing that. Give me a heart, let's say, if you're not currently doing it. Mohammed, yes, absolutely. In the Content Bootcamp, we will be covering this topic. Yes, absolutely. So give me likes if you are currently using content that you are promoting on Facebook. Give me hearts if you are not. Okay, give me hearts if you are not. Don't give me those sad faces and angry faces. I don't want any of those things being used on my live feed. That would be disappointing. Okay, cool. So it looks like we've got a handful of each. Awesome. Okay, cool. So we've got a number of people that are absolutely doing content. That's great. So Let me just go ahead and jump over to my screen here, and I'm going to show you Sniffly. My guess is that many of you are familiar with Sniffly. If you are, let me know. Give me a like if you are familiar with Sniffly. What I'm going to just walk you through here real quick. If you don't have access to Sniffly, if you're not currently using it, we're not using it until very recently. We just started using it, but it's been fantastic. And I really, really, really want to encourage all of you to take advantage of it. So we're inside of Sniffly, and as you can see here, it's a nice simple dashboard. And the idea here is that I can just put in a URL up here, any URL, and then just do create a snip. Now the key is I can put in any URL up there. So I can put in a CNN article. I can put in an article from an authority in our industry, right? Whose content I like. I can put in a link to a video. I mean, whatever I want to do, I can put it in here as long as there's a URL, and I can create a shortened URL called a snip. Okay? So when I do that, now what I can do, if we go over to our Digital Marketing Lab Facebook page here, what I can do is I can promote that piece of content. I can share with you that piece of content. So this is an example right now on our Digital Marketing Lab page. You can see top Instagram influencers strike it rich making millions. Well, this was an article that was in MediaKicks.com, but you can see here via Sniffly. That is because I snipped this, and the reason that I did that is because I want to share this with my audience, but it is clearly not a piece of content that I created, right? It's from MediaKicks. But when our browser here pulls up this article, what we're going to see is that it is my call to action from Sniffly that you're going to see on this particular article. So you see, here's our article on MediaKicks. You're at the MediaKicks website, okay? But if you look at the URL, it's actually a Sniffly URL. But you can see down here that this is our call to action. This is our Digital Marketing Lab call to action. It says free training, build your influence and sell on Instagram. So this is an offer that we have out there. I'm sure some of you guys are familiar with it, where we are showing people how to build up their influence on Instagram and the revenue opportunities that there are from that. And this Learn More button will take people to an opt-in form to join our list if they are interested in that training. So that's really, really powerful stuff, right? Because now what I can do is I'm no longer limited to my content, right? It is just really, really powerful. And here's the deal. This is something that we learned pretty early on in our marketing, is that you get credit for being a curator, right? You get credit for being a curator. Yes, creating original content is absolutely, valuable. You should still do it if you can. But, again, a lot of people struggle with that. And do you get more credit for being a creator of content? Probably. But in the business world in particular, you get credit for being a curator. Okay? If I can bring you value, if I can bring you knowledge and insights that help you, I get credit, even though they're not necessarily created by me. There's so much noise out there, there's so much information out there, that if I can act as a curator, if I can act as a filter for you, and then additionally, if not just being a filter, if I can actually apply a layer of insights to that, right? So if I can say, hey, I found this article, and here's why it's valuable to you. Here's a lesson that I think that you should get from this article based on my experience. And I can then, wrap that piece of content in just a little bit of insights for you. Then I get credit. Okay? I get credit even though I did not have to create the content. And so that's something that I want you guys to really latch onto here, is that if you can just do a solid job of curation, you're still going to provide a lot of value to the marketplace. If you can do a solid job of curation plus just put a little bit of a layer of insights on top of it, you're going to add a tremendous amount of value to the marketplace, and that can be a huge boost to your marketing. So now what we're doing is on these articles that we think, hey, these articles, like this, how do Instagram influencers make money? And, if we go back to, the share on our page, this is their headline. I didn't write this headline. Top Instagram influencers strike it rich, making millions. I didn't write that headline, but that's a pretty darn catchy, attractive headline for somebody who's offering some influencer marketing training, right? So, I now have this perfect piece of content that I can share. Now, one of the things that I was concerned about was, is Facebook going to allow me to promote this content? Are they going to be, happy with me promoting these Sniffly links, where essentially what we're doing is, we're framing somebody else's page? And I actually, did my first ad just a couple of weeks ago. And since then, I've done several of them. And there's been no problem with Facebook. I actually got a rep on the line from Facebook and just asked them, I said, hey, can I confirm this, one, for my account, and two, before I go sharing this with any other people, that, this is not against terms of service, that you're okay with it. They did confirm that they're okay with it. And I've seen other marketers using it, but I still just, want to be smart about it. And if you, obviously you want to keep, your eyes on Facebook's terms of service. They're always changing things. But, you can use this in your email newsletters. You can use this posting anywhere that you can post a link, not just Facebook, okay? Anywhere that you can post a link that you can share some content with people this is super valuable. So we're, putting these in our email newsletters as well. So when we send out an email newsletter, we can have an offer associated with a piece of content that we can drive people to. So it's a really, really cool tool, really easy to use. One of the things that is really, really nice about this is you can create, all kinds of multiple call to actions. So it's super easy to just create a call to action, and that way I can have all kinds of different offers that I'm driving people to. And then when I create my snip, sorry, this is taking a bit to load here, but then when I create my snips, I can just associate them with whatever particular call to action that I want to associate them with. And you can see here that, these things get action, right? These things, are actually getting us conversion. We're, positive ROI on a couple of our Facebook campaigns right out of the gate, just by sharing other people's content, because they're then going to our offers. It's pretty cool where you can get some stats here. So average time on site, average time on first page. So what is cool about that, guys, let me tell you, is that what you can do is you can share other people's content and you can still get engagement statistics for their content. Does that make sense? Because now I'm getting analytics for the content that I shared. I can see, hey, how long are people sticking around on that content and reading it? Because typically I would have no idea, from a piece of content that I shared, what kind of analytics go with it. Now, the other really, really cool things about this tool that I'm sure many of you would wonder about is, yes, you can pixel people who are going and visiting this content through Sniffly. So think about that. I can put my Facebook retargeting pixel, I can put my Google retargeting pixel inside of Sniffly, so that when I'm sending people to other types of content, I can still pixel them and do retargeting. That is incredibly powerful, okay? And if somebody shares your link, that Sniffly link goes with it, okay? It gets shared as your Sniffly link. So if you share a piece of content that gets shared a whole bunch by other people, then again, you're pixeling those other people as that piece of content goes far and wide. That is really, really, really cool, okay? Because you are getting the benefit of, again, leveraging somebody else's content, completely and fully. The other thing is that Sniffly does have conversion pixels. So we're actually just getting that set up, but we can take the Sniffly conversion pixel, we can set it up for leads, we can set it up for purchases, newsletters, subscriptions, whatever we want, and put those on our pages so that we can see, hey, we sent somebody to a piece of content and we're getting, sales conversions out of that content and out of that campaign. So then you can really start promoting this content pretty darn aggressively, because you're going to have good conversion metrics. So that is the strategically lazy content marketing approach. You don't have to create your own content. You can be a curator. You can add a little bit of insights to it, and by doing that, you still get a ton of credit. All right. So I hope that is helpful for you guys. I hope that you take it, put it into action. Sniffly is not an expensive tool, so you can jump on it and run with it, and put it to use here right away. Jose, Steve, Matt, Mohammed, Slavi, everybody that's here, thank you very much for being here. Let me know if you have any questions. Please type them in. If you got some value out of this, give me some likes or some hearts, so I know. And let's see here, Matt. Yes, you are pixeling them. Absolutely. Let's see here. Jose says, Mohammed, look at magic bars. So yeah, I'm sure that there's competitive tools out there. Actually, there's a bunch of competitive tools out there to Sniffly, and I'm not married to Sniffly. You guys use whatever works for you. I can tell you the reason that we're using Sniffly. Two reasons. One, it's super easy. Okay, we have we've used a couple of other tools that had similar promise and features and stuff like that. Sniffly is just easy. It's well developed and it works. The other thing is that it's definitely ready for prime time. Okay, obviously there's lots of internet marketers out there with tools that they'll sell you, and there's again a bunch of kind of knockoffs of this that are out there. And that's not to say that they're necessarily bad or anything like that. But what I will say is that Sniffly is being used by major brands, major organizations. It's very, very stable. It works. It has been absolutely rock solid for us. Let's see here. So one mention, actually, and Josh will put a link in to the comments here, is we do have our content marketing boot camp next week, Wednesday and Friday, two-hour sessions. We're going to be doing a deep dive into our content marketing strategies and how we're using content with Facebook to get the cheapest clicks and the most effective campaigns that we've had on Facebook. So we love the content marketing approach. In those sessions, we're going to share with you the formats that we're using, how we're getting content created quickly in addition to doing things like this, how we're getting other people to create the content for us very, very affordably, and then exactly how we're setting up and using our Facebook ad campaigns to drive that content out to the marketplace and achieve our conversion focused goals. So if you'd like to join us on that boot camp, we will have a link here in the comments if we don't already. And hello, Emily Manorino. How are you? So if you can join us on that boot camp, we'd love to see you there. Again, that will be Wednesday and Friday next week, 2-hour sessions each, and we'll give you all the presentations, recordings, all of the materials that we use from that as well. So hopefully we'll see some of you guys there. And I think that's about it. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Of course, I'll stick around and answer them. And like I said, I hope that this was valuable for you. Go get Sniffly or some other version of that. And whatever you do, just make sure that you've got your content marketing engine going, right? Content is king out there on the World Wide Web today. So make sure that you are putting it absolutely to use at your business. And like I said, take advantage of Sniffly to make that easy on you and to still get credit and still get conversions from the content that you're sharing. Okay? Let's see here. We'll keep this live here for another minute to see if we have any questions that are coming in, and I will do my best to answer those. And then otherwise, we will get you guys to your weekend. It's a beautiful, sunny San Diego day here. We've actually had a little bit of cooler weather, a little bit of rain here lately, all that good stuff. So we are fired up for this weekend and looking forward to get out there and doing a little happy hour on the patio, all that good stuff. So I hope that you can do the same wherever you're at. All right, cool. It doesn't look like any additional questions. So again, thank you very much for being here, for tuning in. We will see you on our next Facebook Live. Take action on this stuff. Go get your content marketing engine fired up and have a fantastic weekend, all right? We'll talk to you soon.